Let's touch base with our next management on the show, which is NBCC. Dr. Anoop Kumar Mittal joins in to talk more about the business. Thanks very much for joining us, Mr. Mittal. How will you increase tendering, up almost 106% in FY18? How is that likely to reflect in the strong 33% top-line growth in FY19 that you hope?
In FY19, we are saying that 30% growth in top line, bottom line will be there, and we are quite sure that it will happen, and by end of year you will see that. And it's not only this year, for next 5 years, the CAGR on top line and bottom line, I expect more than 30%, seeing the order book. And as far as tendering is concerned, this year you will see more tendering and more start of work than the previous year.
Mr. Mittal, Nikunj also joining in from the studio. Now, even though your order book is growing, there has been volatility in your numbers. Sometimes because of GST, sometimes because of a hike which you've taken at employee level at cost front. Are those one-time adjustments behind NBCC? Will it be smooth sailing, and will your earnings now align with your order book growth? Because order book growing is one part of the story, but that has to translate into better profitability. When will these two come together?
You're right that both the things like GST and employees cost, that was one time. Previous year that was over, and except this year, when you will see that quarter to quarter, there will be, last year GST was not there in first quarter, but everything is now over. So now, as far as total revenue and earnings are concerned, this year onwards you will see consistency in that, except in some cases it happened in construction, like for a period, you must have read that due to some environmental clearances, which of course we had, there is some delay in a few projects of redevelopment, but I hope that very soon that will also start. But overall, you will see consistency, and all those one-time effect is over now.
Do you think, though, Mr. Mittal, that more and more redevelopment projects will be adding to your growth in order book, as opposed to the capex cycle not picking up, or even if the capex cycle doesn't recover from here, it would be redevelopment wherein lies your growth story?
You see, redevelopment, what we have done 2 projects, and now we are doing several projects. Always there are some issues, and we come up with those issues also. And now you will see not only Delhi, other parts of country like Manora in Bombay, we are redeveloping the MLA hostel. Then Wadala, of course, that is not redevelopment. It's a development on same model of redevelopment that will start in Assam also, that Twin Tower. As far as capex is concerned, we put some amount as seed money initially, and we take a certain amount of interest on that, and that is ongoing process on that. And I hope that redevelopment is the future of company as well as a requirement of the country also.
We have general elections next year. We have state elections or large state elections later this year. You've got Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Could that have an impact on your business, both from central or from state?
No. This we have never seen in past 6 decades that election affects our business. No way. Only thing is whenever budget comes, that gives us some new projects and some escalate the pace of the work when money is released by government, whenever we do the budgetary projects. Otherwise, election does not affect our business model.
Okay. Give us a sense of the kind of contracts that you're bidding for going forward, and the kind of order inflow growth that you foresee, because we've had companies like L&T come out and say that the traction looks very strong. Is that your sense also on the ground?
Yes, that's true. And but as far as orders are concerned, in this year you will see some of the projects will start in Africa. We have got 10 convention center projects in Africa. Then we got one project in Dubai, that is outside India, and government is also promoting public sector to go more globally, and that's why we got almost 10-11 projects in previous year, or one quarter behind, I mean last quarter of last financial year. And in India we are getting a lot of projects, but main projects which we are eyeing is use of idle or vacant land of sick PSUs or government land for affordable housing. So that is one area where we are working very hard, and government is also aiming that by 2022 everybody should get houses. So that is one area where we are expecting much more business than routine business.
One concern that analysts have is that whether your margins can sustain if the real estate business doesn't fire. And you know, I think a couple of the brokers are saying that that would really get them to put a sell on the stock. How would you defend that argument? I mean, on the diversification of your business?
You see, if you see historically, we don't do much business in real estate. That was, of course, our business 4 or 5 years ago, giving 15-20% revenue and profit also. But in last 4 years, you have seen that that is not giving more than 4 to 7% revenue or profit. So we are not depending upon real estate business, and that is not also business on which one can rely, because there is a lot of volatility in the real estate business. But as far as margins are concerned, we are depending on redevelopment projects where we get not only agency charges, marketing charges also. And I think that will be future of company for next 10 years or 15 years.
Mr. Mittal, tree cutting, land acquisition, there are always controversies for real estate companies in India. Land development companies will never find it easy. This way, that way, they would be pulled, because that's the way the regulations in India are, whether it's a private company or whether it is a public company. As you grow higher and as you grow faster, do you think execution at a full speed could be a challenge for NBCC? Because here or there, time and again, construction activity in India gets into this legal angle, that legal angle, this tribunal, that tribunal. You know what I'm trying to ask you?
You are right, absolutely right. But now this country is going on very fast pace as far as infrastructure development is concerned. And whenever you go on that speed, you will see this kind of impediments. And some of the concerns are genuine also. Sometimes we also learn, not only NBCC, entire industry. For example, in Delhi case, now we are trying to transplant trees, not all trees we are cutting. So these are things which you always face. So this is nothing new, but when you are going very fast and when you see this kind of problems and impediments, suddenly you feel that you are not getting revenue, you are not getting profit also. But whenever the country is developing on that pace, these things will come, and we should not worry on that part.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mittal, good to have you back, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for your valuable time. Let's